Live, uncut, unedited. Come on in. This is the Crime Chaser. Live, uncut. We're going to have a great talk today. A really heart moving, hand shaking, mind blowing conversation today. We want to talk about the young people. I want to tell you guys what I witnessed today. Tell you what I witnessed today. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm quite sure you could be watching some videos or anything, but you taking the time to come in and listen to what I have to say. So I want to wait till a few more people come on in before I get started. But I want to talk about young addicts. And there's a problem we have in our community. Young addicts. Young addicts. Not talking about grown folks. I'm talking about young folks. That's what I'm talking about, young folks. That's what I'm talking about. This is live, uncut, unedited. Make sure you guys share this video now. Share this video because I'm going to say some heavy stuff today. I might say some stuff that you don't like, but you know what? You say, well, Martin, I don't like it, but you 100% right. Went to a funeral today, people. Went to a funeral, and hey, listen, people, we got problems on our hand. I'm talking about the black community. The black community, we got some problem on our hand. I went to a 12-year-old funeral today. Damian Green, the young man that got killed, shot and killed over there on 67th and Low at Ryan Harris Park. 12 years old, people. 12 years old. And it's believed that it was by the hands of another teenager. Want to talk about young addicts, people. Young addicts. 12 years old. Went to the funeral. See, this is the part that you guys don't see. You don't see stuff like this. You don't see the crime chaser going to funerals and stuff like you see me there. You don't see that. Young man, Damian Green. And I want to give a shout out to the violent prevention organizations. Shout out to Daryl Green, Inglewood Political Task Force, Inglewood First Responders, Charles McKenzie, and all other organizations that assist this family in their darkest hour. So we want to talk about young addicts, not grown folks. Grown folks make grown folks decisions. Young folks, they just make decisions. They don't care if it's good or bad, right or wrong. They just make decisions. Now, my opinion, this is my opinion. When Chicago or when Illinois made weed legal, I think they made a mistake. Because, well, you say, well, Martin, I've been smoking weed for 30 years. I never went out there and robbed and shot and killed nobody. I ain't never do this. And you know what? You're right. All I ever did was smoke weed, sit back, laugh, and eat some sweets and giggle and all that. And you're right. But guess what? That weed that you was smoking back in the day is not like the weed of today. They having drugs. Drugs are laced. They are sprayed with various chemicals. Chemicals. Let me say this, people. Young addicts. We gave our young people a pass once we made weed legal. We gave them a pass. Do you know that you can be within a grammar school area vicinity and you'll see young people rolling up smoking weed? Young people smoking loud. This genetic modified weed that has been induced with THC. And I'm going to tell you, the weed that they're smoking is laced with some of this fentanyl stuff. Lace. Weed makes people paranoid. I'm talking about young addicts. You got young addicts that's popping pills. I'm talking about grammar school. We have young people that's carjacking. Oh, I know y'all parents don't want to hear this. You're going to get off this live because you don't want to hear it because you know it's in your household. You know it. You know it's single black woman. You know it's strong black woman. You know what I'm talking about. You know your 12-year-old son out here carjacking, smoking weed. Matter of fact, he's smoking weed with you. You said, well, Martin, I'd rather for him to smoke with me than go out there and get something and get some bad drug. It's all bad. And young people, if you're listening to me right now, anybody that introduced you to drugs and alcohol is not your friend. They're trying to destroy you. Notice I said introduce. Now, if you smoking weed and drinking alcohol already, that's different. But if they trying, even if you smoking weed and drinking alcohol, and they introduce you with ecstasy pills, Percocets, they're trying to destroy you, young man and young woman. Listen to me, young woman and young man. If you're practicing getting high every day, you're going to be the perfect hype. You're going to be the perfect crackhead. You're going to be the perfect weed head. You're going to be the perfect lean head. I ain't never looked at it like that way, Martin. Some of you right now, you're hooked on drugs and you know it. Your body craves for it. So now you're out there running with people normally that you wouldn't even hang out with, having sex with people normally you wouldn't even be having sex with if you wasn't hooked on this substance, on this particular drug. They go for men and women because the men out here prostituting too. So this ain't about bashing women. Parents, if you're listening to this live and your young teenager is sitting next to you, pull this live up where he can see it or she can see it. I'm just leaving a 12-year-old funeral. And you know what the father said? He said, if you can hug your child, you better hug your child. You better hug your child. And I'm going to tell you, people, didn't no grown man kill that young 12-year-old. Now, a grown man may have sold a weapon, but he's definitely involved if you out here selling weapons to young people. Young man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be somebody's sweetheart once you get in that jail. The same gang that you claiming is probably going to rape you. More likely, probably is going to happen. Here you are, 125 pounds, 5'1". Who are you going to whoop? And you 17 years old, getting ready to turn 18. You're getting ready to go to the county, to the big prison. What you going to do? You're not going to get a hold to a service revolver in prison, young man. For those just came in, I just left the funeral of Damian Green, the young man that got shot and killed over there on 67 and Low at Ryan Harris Park. It was sad, people. I just sat there and I cried, people. Didn't know Damian, but you know why I cried, people? Because a young life is gone. Gone, people. Gone. And I know it's at the hand of another young person. And that other young person probably walking around here with his chest up or her chest up, saying, I got a body. And while this family is suffering and crying and mad and angry, can you imagine walking in a crowd with a crowd and somebody pull a gun out and shoot and kill the person that you're with? Wouldn't that traumatize you? Wouldn't that make you afraid? Wouldn't that make you afraid? Imagine a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old witness his friend, her friend, get shot and killed in broad daylight. And top it off, you know the person that did it, that did the murder. And you're afraid to say something because you're afraid of your safety. It's trauma. Here I am, a 55-year-old man. I witnessed a man get killed in 1979, July 27, 1979. I'll never forget it. Some of y'all weren't even born then. I witnessed one of the occasions a man get killed. And it's still with me right now today. I was a little boy, a teenager. Mothers, our children are addicts. You're trying to figure out why little Pookie and Ray Ray is talking back. You're trying to figure out why is Pookie and Ray Ray is not going to school anymore. He's failing in his grade. She's failing. You're trying to figure out why is it that they're spending the night at home, out, away from home at night. You're trying to figure out when you put them on punishment, they leave out anyway and run away. And now you got to post that picture all on social media and you're embarrassed as a parent. Well, let me tell you something, strong Black woman. And I don't say that in a negative way. Some gonna have to give. If you at work 8 hours, it's gonna take you an hour to prepare to get to work, maybe an hour to drive. It's only 24 hours in the day. It's only 24 hours in the day. And if you working, if you gone 10 and 12 hours a day, how much time do you think you got to spend with your sons and your daughters? Anybody on here know that that's an adult? It don't take long to have sex. 2 or 3 minutes, a minute. Don't take long. A lot of our teenagers are smoking weed. They're popping Percocets, ecstasy. They're drinking lean. And we just turn a blind eye. No, not my child, Martin. I know I watch my child. Yes, your child is smoking weed loud. You say, well, Martin, where he get the money from? That's a whole nother life there. And if I tell you, you probably won't believe me. If she a woman, she might be giving oral out, tricking off. If he's a male, he could be sleeping with older males. Or he could be out there robbing, sticking up. Listen, parents, I often tell you guys to search your child's room. It's really important to do that. It's important. It's important just as much as you search their room if you to hug them and love them. If all your son and your daughter hear you yap, 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 when was the last time you told your son and daughter you love them and you hugged them? For Martin, my son, he disobedient. He too much. He talked back. That shouldn't stop you from saying that, son, I love you. Or daughter, I love you. You said, well, Martin, my daughter's on the pill. She ain't gonna bring no baby up in my house. That's what y'all say. Women, is not designed for you to be a working woman. It's designed for the man to work and provide. That's how it's designed. So when you go out there and work, and we know we're living in a new century now, a new day and time, both have to work. We understand that. It puts a lot of pressure on you. And you walking around here irritated, mad, disgusted at the world. Because the stress that you're getting on the job, and the stress when you come home, the stress you're getting in your relationship, the stress worrying about getting child support, the stress about the other parent coming by, spending some time with the child, or doing for the child. Stress. And if you drinking and smoking to relieve your stress, you're going to be hooked on some drugs real soon if you're not hooked now. People, drugs and alcohol has become a pacifier. It has become what you call, it takes us out of our reality, out of our bad zone. It takes us out of it. It makes us feel a certain way. Well, you said, well, Martin, how you know you don't drink and smoke? You talking too much now. Oh, I see it. I see it. I've been around drugs and alcohol all my life, and I've seen it. Had a father on drugs, had some brother on drugs, brothers on drugs. And I ain't talking about no weed either. I know y'all don't want to hear the truth, but I got to tell it. We have young addicts, people. We have to get our sons and daughters treated. You don't have to be a grown man to be on drugs. Your sons and daughters are on prescription drugs. They are addicted. They don't have no appetite unless they smoke some weed. When they get up in the morning, they got to smoke some weed. Before they lay down at night, they got to smoke some weed or drink. Some people can't even have sex unless they smoking and drinking. We're dealing with traumas, people, that have not been addressed. We're dealing with molestation. We're dealing with verbal abuse, physical abuse. We're dealing with oppression. That's what we're dealing with. Every day we're facing these things, people. And our young people are out there slaughtering each other. Young as 10 years old, carjacking. What do a 10-year-old know about carjacking? He shouldn't even be thinking about driving right now or having sex. People, our culture is in trouble. The men have abandoned their post. The women, not all, have decided that they want to be the boss, the man. They want to wear the pants and the skirt in the relationship. They want to call the shots. They don't want to be submissive. They hate that word submissive. They hate that word to be told what to do. I wonder how many women on here right now in this live, black women, view the black man. How do they view the black man? Even a man that you're dating. You don't have to answer me. Deep down in your mind, how do you view the man that you're married to or dating? Do you view him as a leader? Do you view him as a strong man? Do you view him as a provider, a protector, a loving father? How do you view, I'm talking to the women, your significant other, your boyfriend? How do you view him? Or do you just view him as a pair of pants? He's nothing. You talk to him like he's nothing. You treat him like he's nothing. And the only time that you allow him to be a man when danger comes. Outside of danger, you don't want him telling you nothing, leading you nowhere. When it's time to make a major decision, buying a house or car, you don't need him. When even taking your car to the shop, you don't want no advice from him. But if a man walk up and pull a gun on you, want that man to be a man and take that bullet for you, don't you? I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. Men, our women are viewing us not as leaders, not as providers, not as protectors. They're just viewing us a certain way. And we cannot gain the respect of them. We the only men on earth that don't have control of our woman. Our women get out of line, but I've seen it over and over. Some of you men, some of you women out there, you are so masculine. And you beautiful at the same time, but you can't keep no man. Ain't no man gonna put up with you. A baby man, a soft man, a weak man. Well, you say, well, Martin, I am a professional. I have my own car, my job. I have a $5,000 dog. And you're still not happy and you don't have no husband. And you probably would never be married, never experience marriage because of that masculine attitude you have. Well, I don't want no husband. And that's your choice. That's your choice. But what I know, and you know, no one wants to really be by themselves. We all desire companionship, unless something wrong with you, unless you're different. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know everything. I'm talking about our children now. Mothers, we have to look at our children and listen to the teachers. A lot of times, we want to take our children's word when they tell us something. But sometimes we ought to go a little deeper and see what the teachers have to say, because the teachers is spending literally more time with your sons and daughters than you are as being a parent. And some of you parents, you can't wait Monday through Friday so you can drop your sons and daughters off to get rid of them. So you can act out in the house. Can't wait. When was the last time you've been up to the school and had a discussion with the school teacher? Do you know any of your child's teacher's name? Do you know the principal's name? The assistant principal name? Listen, that's right, my brother. Divine Order said God made us all social beings. They're social creeps. That's right. That's right, brother. I know y'all don't like this type of talking, but this talking is real. Care what nobody say. I love young people, but I hate to see young people throw their life away on some bragging rights. I got a body. I got two bodies. And young people, you're going to get enough out there drawing pistols on people. And I always tell you, just as much as you're ready to kill, be ready to die. Some folks ain't going. Some folks going to die for this material stuff. They're going to die for their car. They're going to die for their money. They're going to die for their clothes. They're going to die if they feel threatened. And you really don't want a gun battle. You want a smooth transition when you stick up somebody. You want to have an upper hand. And I always say, whoever gets to their gun first that day, that might be the bad man. Now, it's a possibility. You both can leave at the same time. Because we witnessed it over there on 68th and Ashland, where the security guard and the regular citizen killed each other. They both died that day. There was no winners at all. And I want to give my condolences to the Green family. Damian Green, young 12-year-old young man, 12 years old, people, gunned down like a dog in the streets by the park. People, if you had just been to that funeral and just see a 12-year-old in the casket, his classmates crying. And I'm going to tell you this. One of his teachers was there, mentors. And he showed me a video of that 12-year-old. And he told me, and this particular mentor, he's educated and he's from the streets. So he know both sides. And he said, Martin, he was a good kid. Outstanding kid. Now, if a teacher, a mentor can speak on his character, I believe him. And that's what he said. He's a good kid, Martin. He said, I got plenty of pictures with working with him and everything. He said, a lot of parents do not listen when we try to tell them about their children. We see things that they don't see. And he said, Martin, I've been fortunate to be on both sides, the street side and the education side, and I can see when a person headed toward the streets. And he said, I do my best. I might not be saying exactly what he said, to correct that. He showed me a picture, a video of young Damon, 12-year-old, the same day he got killed. They had boxing gear on and they were sparring. He said, this is the same day that Damian Green got killed. He showed me. He said he was a good kid, Martin. And this brother is an example setter. He believes in what he does. I'll be interviewing him real shortly next week. Parents, I don't want to hear nothing bad about my son or my daughters. And I know you don't want to, but sometimes my father said it like this. He said, Martin, these children could make you laugh and they can make you cry. We don't want to believe that our 10-year-old, 12-year-old son out there carjacking, robbing people. We don't want to believe that our young son out there is smoking weed every day, popping pills and lean. We don't want to believe this. We don't want to believe this. No, not my son, not my daughter. My daughter ain't out there selling her body. She only 13, but she built up like she 18. Yes, your daughter. You don't want to believe that your daughter is engaged with another woman. Your son is practicing homosexuality. You don't want to believe that. But it's true. Parents, we need to get help, spiritual help. Listen, parents, it's hard out here being a single parent, and I know it is. But you're going to have to allow somebody to help you because we're raising young addicts. We're not around our children all day. We don't know what they're doing when they are not around us. We send them to school. They can go in the front door and leave out the back door. Now, we see in the news on social media, young people out here carjacking, shooting folks, bragging about it, going on social media, taunting the parents. It's the mentality, people. Young man and young woman, if you listen to me, they got a court date for you. They got a cemetery for you. And they'll be happy to service you. Be happy, because every mistake that we make in life, if we go out there and kill somebody, they're going to get paid. If we go out there and carjack somebody, they're going to get paid. Out of all our mistakes, if you go out there and get hooked on drugs, they're going to get paid. You have to pay to go to treatment. Women, the Bible said the power and life and death is in the tongue. Be careful calling your girlfriend BICTHs. Don't do that. Quit cussing your son out. Quit fussing and hollering, cussing them out. Tell him he ain't gonna be nothing. Quit telling them that. Quit telling your daughter that she's gonna be a whore. Quit telling her that. Because guess what? She might make you proud, and it become the reality. You speaking power, life, and death over your sons and daughters. You sit down and talk with them and show them, if you do this, this can happen. Listen, no addict out here wanted to be an addict. You don't grow up and say, hey, I want to be on drugs. You are influenced to use drugs. It's real, people. I want to thank you guys so much. And, we have to love on our young folks. We got to love on them. They are young folks. And I don't ever want to hear you calling these young people savages. Because when you call them that, they're going to act like a savage. There ain't nothing but another code word for NIGGER. That's all what it is. And it's giving the other man, the white man, license to gun your sons and daughters down. Yes, weed is a drug. How would you like for somebody to smoke a blunt, then go in and give you open heart surgery? How would you like if somebody smoke a blunt and go into the jet plane and fly the plane off into somewhere? How would you like if somebody's smoking a blunt and they got to make a decision, a life and death decision for you? How would you like that? Speak life to your sons and daughters. They are young addicts. They're getting high off weed, alcohol, coolers. They're popping pills, all of that. They're not going to let you see their mama and daddy until you catch them. That's where all this bad behavior coming from. Gotta go, people. Gotta go. I appreciate you. I've been on here 30-some minutes. Appreciate you. God bless y'all. Y'all pray for me, because I'm going through, because I'm feeling some type of emotional right now, because I seen that young man, 12 years old, laying in that casket. I'm telling you, that could be my daughter. I got a daughter, 15. And I know it's another young person that shot and killed him. And they probably on social media right now bragging. All right. Appreciate your people. Y'all already know what it is. This live, uncut, unedited. Appreciate y'all. I got to end this live. Thank you so much. Tune in tonight. I should be on tonight. Appreciate you. Share this page. Watch it with your sons and daughters. Watch it. You guys both can learn something. Peace out. Live, uncut. You already know what it is. The Crime Chaser. Live, uncut, unedited.